GoPro, turn off. Hey, everybody. Can you guys hear me? Can you guys hear me? Perfect. How are you guys doing today? How's everyone doing? Hope you guys are doing wonderful. It is Sunday here in South Florida. It is 1:35 p.m. It is rainy. It is nasty out there. So I figure I join you guys. We can just have a very healthy conversation today about audio. Can answer a couple of your questions, and just, have fun with you guys. Everybody can hear me, right? Perfect. All right, let's wait a couple of minutes. All right, go. All right. How many people we got? We got 18 people right now. Perfect. Okay. Let's get started because I got a couple of consultations that are going to be happening this afternoon. I want to throw it out there, okay? If you guys are looking for advice with regards to your next purchase, please consider my consultation service. It is far cheaper than the money you are going to be wasting if you buy the wrong product. Okay, at this level, anything you buy results in tens of thousands of dollars in losses. You guys know this. So consider my consultation service. I urge you to reach out to me. Okay, my email address is always on the description of each video that I publish. So please, okay, I say it one more time. Do yourself a favor, consider my consultation service. I'm working on several systems at this moment, and I am hoping to be flying out at some point to showcase some of the systems that I've been helping other subscribers like yourself build in their own homes, and obviously get their impressions about my advice and obviously the system matching that I have been able to assist them with. So keep that in mind, okay? Okay, we got 24 people. By the way, in case you're wondering, on my last video at that has to do with the Magical Factory tour, I was using GoPros. So I am upping my game, okay, with a lot of different camera systems, actually trying 2 different wireless systems as well, lavaliers, all of this. So I am definitely raising the bar when it comes to video quality as well as audio performance so that you guys are getting better quality content. You should have seen also the editing, right, that took place on these last 2 parts that I've released. You should have seen that there is someone now involved doing the editing, the music, whatever it is. It's still work in progress, but you can definitely see my channel coming up. I'm upping my game, okay? So a lot of money to be spent. I have to pay a video editor now to do the transitions for me better. He has better software. He has better skills. And I'm pretty much only doing the editing inside the room. For instance, when I'm going to do a comparison, that's fine. I can do that. Or if I'm just going to talk, like right now, I can do that. But anything that has awesome transitions, you see the camera angles and things like that, I have a video editor now on board. He is helping me out. So I want to thank him here if he's watching this. Okay, so I couldn't do this alone. It's too much work, guys. Okay, that said, let's take a couple of questions. Whatever you guys want to know, I'm here. to answer your concerns, your anything that I might not be clear out there. Please go ahead and ask your questions. Okay. Okay. So in regards to the Magical M9, people want to know. Okay, because you guys are here today with me, I'm gonna give you a little bit of information with regards to that. Okay. The M9 is not a speaker that will ever be recorded. Okay. Magical does not authorize any video recordings of the M9. Okay. So I want to make sure you guys understand that. This is why you never see any M9 videos playing music from the factory. That doesn't mean you can't find other M9 videos online playing music, but the factory does not authorize music videos of the M9s they currently have. Okay, so I want to make sure you guys understand that. A lone wolf told me that if anybody is serious about the M9, they can fly into California and have a private audition of the M9. All you got to do is call him ahead in advance and set up an appointment. So they are open to letting you guys, those of you who are serious, listen to these speakers. Okay, and I don't blame them. Okay, I'm going to give you more of my opinion here. I don't blame Magical for this. I really do not blame that they don't allow for any video footage of the speaker playing music be recorded. And I'm going to tell you why. Number one, you can't really understand the level of realism that speaker has, and you can't really transfer that into YouTube. YouTube will never do that speaker justice. Okay, never. That's number one. Number two, you got to keep in mind that I know a lot of you guys know about vehicles. A lot of you guys are males, so a lot of you guys know about cars, and I know females do too. So if you're a female and you're watching me, okay, I want to make sure that I say that. So as you know, for instance, and I'm going to give you a perfect example. If you have a car that from the factory, it says it can run 9 seconds in the quarter of a mile, 9 seconds, right? In a quarter of a mile, which is very fast in case you do not know about cars. It's a very fast car. What they don't tell you is it's 9 seconds, assuming that you have the tires that you need, which is drag radials or slicks, assuming that the pavement is prepped, the surface where the car is prepped like a drag strip. Then it can run 9 seconds. It doesn't run 9 seconds on the streets, on regular street tires, on a garbage road where it's been raining, okay? It's not going to run 9 seconds. So it's the same thing with the Magical M9. It's going to blow you away, assuming you have the electronics, assuming you have the proper electricity, assuming you have the proper room, all of that. You have to do this for a speaker like this to really blow your mind. So this is one of the reasons why Alon told me he's not planning to put the M9 at any audio show. So you will never hear the Magical M9 at any show, okay, ever, because of what I just mentioned. That speaker needs to be properly set up. You can't just drop it into a hotel room and then expect the best performance out of that loudspeaker, okay? You can't do that to the speaker. That's basically, it's like basically committing a crime with the M9. You can't do that with that speaker, okay? And I don't blame him. So this is another reason why the Wilson audio whams, the $600,000 or $700,000 whams, are never at a show. These are statement pieces, okay? They'll never be at a show. And I don't blame the factory for doing that. Any brand who's watching me right now, if you have a statement piece like that and you have never placed it at a show, I understand why. I get it 110%. So I'm not knocking you for that. Okay, I'd probably do the same if I was a manufacturer, if I'm being honest. Okay, what components does the Magical factory uses? A bunch of Pillion electronics. They were using a music server that I have never heard of. I can't remember the brand. You'll hear it on part 3 of my videos series with him. You'll get to see the components on the next part of this Magical tour on part 3. But at a high level, a lot of Pillion Gear. lots of Pillion components, and of course, some cables from Italy. I do not remember the brand of cables. Maybe some of you guys can make out the name of the brand when you see the video footage that will follow, hopefully on Tuesday. Right now, I am in the last stages of finalizing the video editing process. Okay, this is why it has not been released. My hope was that it got released yesterday. Unfortunately, we have some delays, and so I need a couple of extra days to make sure the footage gets out and that it's the way that I think would be best for my channel and for you guys. So Mike is asking, would 4 Boulder 3050s? No, I think the Boulder 3050, in my opinion, would be the perfect, again, my opinion, the perfect amplifier for that speaker. 1500 watts, Class A. I can't think of a better power amplifier for a Magical M9. Now, I'm biased because I have a Boulder 3060, but I just feel that the 3000 series from Boulder there's no speaker that it can't drive, and I think the 3050 is the amplifier made for this M9 job to really, really push the M9 to levels that they probably have never heard before at the factory. Now, that's not a knock on Pillion. I'm not saying Pillion doesn't sound right. That's not what I'm saying. But I'm just simply more of a Boulder person. I like what Boulder does. It's more to my liking. Mike, I don't really have any thoughts on Pillion Gear, Mike. If I'm being transparent, I was in the process of buying an amplifier and preamplifier. For one reason or the other, that didn't happen. So all I can tell you is when I went to the factory, I thought it sounded pretty good. But I can't really tell you what that gear sounded like because it's a system. So you have cables that are also going to be doing certain things. You also have a music server that I never heard from before, which is not a Takeo Extreme music server. So there are other things that are, we have to keep in mind. So I can't tell you exactly what Pillion sounds like. I can tell you it sounded impressive, and the speaker sounded amazing. There was a lot of resolution, a lot of punch, immense soundstage. It was by far one of, if not the best system I've ever heard in my life. And it's no shock. I mean, the room is, wow, that room is probably cost more than most people's homes. I mean, it's ridiculous, guys. You'll see on part 3 what I mean. You get ready for that. Part 3 will let you know. I want to actually utilize this time and this opportunity. Okay. I'm going to do this right now, front and center, so that you guys who are live right now watching this can hear it from me. And whoever is going to watch the video after it wraps up, you guys can understand it. And there is absolutely full transparency on my part. Magical compensated me for travel expenses. That means hotel, and that means my plane tickets. Okay. They compensated me for that because I am not going to spend $3,000, $4,000, $5,000 to do this out of my pocket. Okay, neither would you. None of you guys would do it either. Okay, so Magical compensated me the travel expenses, not my travel expenses plus cash for my pocket. No, Magical paid me. I looked up the plane tickets. I looked up the hotel and the nights I was gonna stay. And I sent them that invoice. They paid for that. Nothing else. I didn't get anything else from them. So I want to make sure that this narrative that I have seen lingering, oh, you should get paid, you shouldn't get paid. Guys, if I don't get the travel expenses compensated to me, I can't travel to any factory because it's money out of my pocket. We're talking $3,000, $4,000, $5,000 at a time. For what? That's money that's gone. I can't support that level of, that financial effort. I can't. So I want to make sure you guys are clear. Yes, if I go to a factory, I am not doing the job for free. And for free, I mean, I am not using my money to travel thousands of miles to showcase a factory that absolutely, it helps them and it helps my channel grow, but I am the one coming out of pocket for these expenses. I am not doing that. And I'm looking at the camera. No. Okay. I am not doing that. So if you ever see me at any other factory anywhere in the world, I am telling you full transparency. Yes, they are probably 99.999% paying for my travel expenses. That doesn't mean they're paying for my car. That doesn't mean they're paying for my word or whatever it is. No, they're paying for me to go there so that I can shoot content and pay an editor. By the way, I have to pay out of my pocket a video editor. Plus, I brought my wife with me, which cost me an additional plane ticket that I didn't charge for. And my wife came to help me with the video cameras and setting up stuff. And she's part of the video editing process. So my wife actually took a day off of her job, okay, a day off to fly with me. And I had to pay for that. I had to pay for all the plane ticket. So I ended up coming out of pocket to go to the factory to bring you this content. Okay. So do you feel me now? Do you feel what I'm saying now? Do you guys understand what I'm trying to tell you? I had to come out of my own pocket. So in essence, by me doing this entire magical tour, I lost money. Even after the money they compensated for my travel expenses. Okay, is anybody here not clear with what I'm saying? Does it make sense what I'm saying to you? Does it not make sense? Is it unfair or fair? I think it's pretty fair, right? I ended up coming out of my own pocket when it was all said and done. This cost me money to do. Okay, thank you. So if you ever see any punk making these comments, let them know to watch this video because I'm addressing it right now without any bullshit or any lack of transparency. Okay? I want you guys to understand this costs money to travel and take your show on the road to film stuff. All right? So if you see me elsewhere, remember everything that it entails: cameras, another person to help me, the video editor, the plane tickets, the hotel. I can't come out of pocket for all of that. So please understand that if you guys want to keep seeing more of these tours, whether it be, I don't know, another loudspeaker manufacturer, whether it be an amplifier design, whatever it is, guys, I want to be honest. Yes, they are going to compensate for my travel expenses, nothing else. Okay, let's move on. All right, so let me get back to, thank you guys. Thank you. I appreciate you guys getting and understanding me, where I'm coming from. Yeah, Jim. Peppa Pig shirt. Yes. Anyway, guys, so let's talk about what else do you guys want to know? Ask me questions. I'm all yours right now. I'm open, transparent. I want to give you guys whatever you guys need. Go ahead and ask me anything. What do you guys want to know? I like tube preamplifiers. Tube preamplification to me, it's phenomenal. As a matter of fact, guys, I do have a tube preamplifier coming soon, and it will be the Mac Master, the VAC Master. I'm sorry, the VAC Master preamp is returning. We're gonna hear the VAC Master preamplifier potentially go up against the Audio Research Ref 6 SE. Okay, so maybe we will do that shootout of the VAC Master preamplifier against the Ref 6 SE from Audio Research. So stay tuned for that. Guys, Todd, thank you for the question, Todd. Yes, so the website right now, I am at the final stages right now of the testing. I am testing the membership right now. I am doing, fake payments to make sure that everything is transparent, that everything is working, that people are seeing the content they're paying to see. Here's what you guys are going to get. There's going to be 3 memberships. Okay, so you guys understand there's going to be 3 different types. There's going to be the low, the mid, and the high. Hi-fi, right? You're going to get amplifier rankings. Well, I'm going to be talking about the amplifiers that have left a long-lasting impression. So you're going to be getting content about the best amps under 30K, cost no object amplifiers, You're going to get speaker rankings that I have personally owned. You're going to get pre-amplifier rankings that I have personally owned. You're going to get also the worst components I have owned. And by the way, you're going to have the opportunity to download it on a Word document, or you can also click on the videos. You're going to have me talking short segments of about 3 to 5 minutes long, where, for instance, I'm going to come out and say, okay, the top, amps under 30K are brands A, B, C, D. Let me talk about brand A. This amplifier is this, and this is the reason why it's number one. Moving on to the next one. Another video will follow that's 3 to 5 minutes long. Number two, this is the reason why I feel this is the second best amplifier under $30,000. And I'm going to talk about that, right? So right now I have approximately 40 videos in the members only section that are there. You guys can't see because I have not launched the website. But when you guys start to sign up and subscribe and become a member, you're going to have you're going to have access to a lot of content that unfortunately can't make it on YouTube. Okay. So you're going to have a lot more of that personal feeling with me. And that's what I'm trying to make sure you guys get on my website. So that's going to come soon. In addition to that, the final tier group, which is the priciest one, unfortunately, will be for those members that want to be part of my WhatsApp group. That's right. I'm going to have a Jay's Audio Lab WhatsApp group. And those would be those members that want to have real-time conversations with me. So if I am here, for instance, right now, you see this right here behind me? Those two amplifiers right there, right? That group will already know what those amplifiers are and my initial impressions of those amplifiers through WhatsApp. So I'll be shooting quick videos through WhatsApp, and sending those videos to that WhatsApp group. Okay, you guys are going to have real-time feeling with me at all times. You're going to be able to just be closer to me. You're going to know what other stuff is here. So this is a perfect segue into what I wanted to talk about, okay? You see those two amps right here? This one and this one? All right. Amplifiers under $30,000 that will be part of the lab for some time. These are new amplifiers. I am going to put the Boulder 3060 on hold for the time being. I want to basically give it some time off, and I want to focus on those two affordable power amps for now, so that you guys, those of you who want to know what is the best under 30K, can actually be more engaged. You guys can actually get a better feeling from me as far as like, hey, Jay, give me your impression of this $30,000 amp in comparison to your reference, the 3060. How much more does the 3060 really do? How close does it get? See, this is why I want to keep the 3060, because it's my measuring tool. With the 3060, I'm able to tell you which of the more affordable amps are really giving you a huge bang for the buck and bringing you a lot of the strengths of the 3060. So I want you guys to be really pumped for that. That's going to happen later in the year because I have other plans before that. For instance, the Commander with the Griffin Apex hopefully will arrive at some point this month. I'm hoping by the end of the month I have it, if not early October. So you guys will be seeing the Apex and the Commander enter my lab within the next 3 to 4 weeks. The Magical M2s and the Magical S7s are very different speakers. Very different speakers. Couldn't be more, just absolutely different animals. If you guys have questions that you need answered and you're here with me, if you make a donation, your question will be highlighted and I will get to it right away. Okay. You don't have to. I'm just throwing it out there. If you are in a rush and you need a couple of your questions answered, just make a quick donation right now on the chat and I will get to your questions right away. Again, you don't have to. I'm just throwing it out there. If you want your questions answered fully, please, I urge you to do that. Let me see. I am curious about visiting the Wilson Audio Factory. Yes, there's always some interest. I've never been to the Wilson Audio Factory. I would love to. If they're watching what I have done on the Magical and they want to take me there, absolutely, I would be more than open to come out there to Utah and check out their facilities. Absolutely, yeah. Magical says that they don't use 4 binding posts, and neither does Wilson Audio, by the way, because they feel like you're using the crappy jumpers oftentimes. And he said that it is kind of defeating the purpose of creating such an amazing loudspeaker. So unless people are really going to buy amp the speaker with 2 amps or 2 channels, he feels that most people will never do that. So this is why they have decided to just stick to a single set of binding posts. So I don't know. I really do not know, but I've seen that from a lot of different brands, not just Magical. Um, the analog, okay, guys, just to give you more context, my turntable, I'm waiting for the cartridge, okay? My stand is here, the turntable's here, but the cartridge that I've ordered from Japan is taking forever. They told me that it would hopefully be here by the end of the month. That's really what is stalling everything, okay? But bear with me. There is a lot of delays when it comes to shipping new products and manufacturing new products. So I just urge you guys, please bear with me. It's slow right now, acquiring any brand new items that you order. So as soon as that's here, I don't think that will be here before the Griffin, Apex, and the Commander get here. So more than likely, you're going to hear the Apex and the Commander first, and then the turntable will arrive. So maybe I get to hear the turntable with the Griffin, Commander, and Apex. Yeah, that would be great. I think that would be awesome to be able to use the turntable with those two incredible electronics. So where's my final destination, guys? There is no such thing as final destination. Right now, the goal is to continue to explore. This is a relentless pursuit of knowledge. The more I try, the more well informed I am, and the more service I can provide to you guys. So there is absolutely no stopping with what I'm doing. Right now the system is sounding magical. I love the magic of the S7s with my electronics, my amps, my preamps. Everything is just locked in beautiful. Okay. So now, yeah, of course, the show must continue. Eventually, I'll get something else. I don't know what that looks like. I don't know if it's going to be a speaker, if it's going to be a new DAC, if it's going to be a new music server. I really do not know, guys. I kind of go with the flow. Whatever comes my way that may pique my interest, that's typically how I select my next electronic. But it's never really like I know exactly where I'm headed next. Right now, I have tried so many things, guys, so many things that my options are very limited as far as what really strikes my interest. This is the reason why I am bringing those 2 amps behind me again, right there, to you guys, because I want to switch things up a little bit. And I think it's going to make many of you guys pretty happy to be able to see these 2 amps and hear them in my room with great electronics, a great speaker, so you guys can make educated buying decisions based on my trials here. Which show is the most important in I mean, the most important show in the world is definitely Munich. I mean, there's no question about it. Munich is where you want to be as an exhibitor. I think that's the number one destination. After that, I would say Expona. Expona in Chicago is number 2. Those are the top 2 shows, in my opinion, that no brand should ever skip. Let me see. Guys, if you want to hit that like button, that'd be great. Hit that like button so that more people can join the conversation today. It helps a lot. Okay, just hit that like button, guys. Um, what else? So this is what I have coming up. Okay, we have the Apex with the Commander. We have the Kronos turntable. We have the under $30,000 MSRP amplifier shootout, and we're gonna have the VAC Master Preamplifier against the Audio Research Reference 6SE. So we're going to have approximately 5 different amazing things towards the end of the year. And that will pretty much wrap things up for me for this year. As far as next year, guys, I am thinking perhaps about bringing another speaker. I do not know what that speaker will be. I'm still thinking about it. Consider the Sonos Faber Aida 2. I've considered Wilson Audio Alex V. I've considered even Von Stryker speakers, Rockport speakers. Those are really my top speakers right now, my top picks for next speaker. So I don't know where I'll land, where I'm going to be headed. It's hard for me to tell you that, but I can assure you that wherever I go, you guys are going to find it interesting. One thing I want to say is I'm trying to stay away from ultra expensive speakers. I want to stay with speakers that are under 100K MSRP. 2 reasons. Reason number one, it's very difficult to sell a speaker of that kind of money. It's absolutely difficult to eventually move on from a speaker that's $200,000. Unless it's heavily discounted, it's a difficult and enormous amount of work. And so I have to keep that in mind. It's not as easy as selling a power amp or a preamp or a DAC or a music server. Speakers are very difficult things to sell. Tidal speakers. The problem with Tidal speakers and why it's not on my list, guys, is because Tidal speakers it's not a brand that's highly recognized in the United States, guys. And remember, I have to have an exit plan for this. Okay, I really would love to try all of these brands, Tidal speakers, and then they make a second brand. I can't remember the name. I would love to try all of that. I'd love to try Zelaton speakers. I would love to try Martin speakers. I would love to try many other brands that I can think of, guys. But remember, these brands, guys, are hard as hell to sell. When you're done with them in the United States, you have to remember it will be a financial disaster, guys. This is another thing that I will be offering on my website is what should you be paying on the used market on high-end electronics. This is a huge service for you guys. Huge service. Because remember, not only am I very, very good at building systems, but I'm also extremely good at buying used audio. So this is going to be an absolute immense service for you guys. Those of you who are looking to buy on the secondhand market, you will benefit tremendously from this. So I urge you to be a member of my website because we will talk about pricing. I will give you I have a blue book with all the used prices on gear. I can look up used values on just about anything you want and tell you what you should be paying for things on the secondhand market. So that is going to help you tremendously to make sure you do not overpay. I don't have any idea if I'm going to try YG acoustics. To be honest with you, I hear they're kind of like a distant relative of Magical speakers. I really do not know. It's like I'm speculating here, guys, but maybe, who knows? Maybe the YG acoustics could be a speaker that I may try at some point. Let me see. What other questions you guys have? The one thing I have to be honest about here is Audio Vector speakers sounded pretty good when I heard him at that show, by the way. They really did. I can't remember the show where I heard him, but they sounded pretty good. And I want to make sure you guys understand one thing, okay? I'm not necessarily opposed to manufacturers sending me equipment to review. I want you guys to know this. I am 100% open to that. But just because the equipment lands here does not mean it will be on my YouTube channel. It doesn't mean that, okay? If I decide it's not the type of equipment or component that I want to showcase on my channel, it doesn't get displayed on my channel, but I may do a small video or opinion on the product on my website, on the membership section of my website. So there will be other components that I may analyze, review, that will go on that website that are specifically made for the website. For instance, I'll tell you this: there is a lot of questions that I get all the time about the Takeo Extreme Music server versus the Render N30. That is something that will be strictly for my members on the website because of the nature of the content, because of what it entails, because of it could be personal opinion. And a lot of my deepest personal opinions, I feel that I need to share them on my website. I want to, of course, continue to give you guys a lot of support here on YouTube and give you the free content that you deserve. But that extra juicy stuff that is deeper and closest to me, I can't really share that on YouTube, guys. You understand YouTube is a public platform. No, I never got to see that, David. I didn't get to see that shootout, that comparison, that blind comparison. No. It's funny that you mentioned that about the S7s being replaced with the Q series. Okay, so full disclosure, I'll tell you here. Thank you for being here with me again. I almost bought a pair of Q7s last week, magical Q7s last week. Unfortunately, me and the seller were kind of not on the same terms in terms of the transaction and the logistics, so it didn't happen. So I was literally about to send a wire transfer last week for a magical Q7, but I didn't. Okay, and I think I have moved away from that thought because of what I mentioned earlier. The 750 pounds is absolutely insane for me to handle by myself. Also, the effort to sell a speaker that expensive is not easy. And in addition to that, I have the S7. So what do I do with the S7s? It's too much. There's going to be too much speaker here. Way too many components in here. So I decided that right now the timing is not right for me to try a Q7, but I would say that I would be open to a Sonos Faber AIDA 2, quite possibly over the next, I would say, 2 to 3 months. Don't be surprised if you see a Sonos Faber AIDA 2 in here. Audience cabling is here. It's unfortunately, it's been playing. Unfortunately, I haven't had the chance to sit down and really put it through the paces because I traveled to the Magical Factory and I've been doing the wrap-up videos. I've been working on consultations. I've been doing the website, so I haven't had a chance to come back around and give you the comparison of the audience cables against transparent Opus. But I think you guys are going to be highly interested in that video. Those two cables are killers. One thing I am doing, and I'll put it out there right now. I am in conversations with a cable designer over in Europe. I am scouting and I am looking at the market for cables because I want to find a cable brand that I really believe in that is not astronomical in price, but it's not also like super cheap. I want to find some sweet spot somewhere in the middle, a cable brand that can just blow the doors from out of any other expensive cable brand, and that you don't have to really empty your bank account. So it's a very difficult task to do. But just so you guys know, for full disclosure, I am trying to find a very unknown cable brand that I can believe in, that I can bring into my lab, put it through the motions, test it with different speakers, cables, amps, and preamps, and that can hopefully succeed here so that at some point I can go ahead and introduce you guys to it. I have not located, I haven't found it yet. I want to make sure I say that, but I am in the process of auditing different companies that have piqued my interest, cable companies. No, Blue Jean cables. No, I could never do Blue Jean cable. It's gonna be a brand that doesn't sell at the level of Nordust, Odin, or Transparent Opus. It's gonna be somewhere in the middle, the sweet spot of this cable brand. I don't know what that looks like I said, but it has to. I have to be blown away by it. It will not be just. I don't believe in snake oil. Like it's not gonna be snake oil. I have to believe in it. Okay, has to really blow me away for me to put my name behind it and be able to showcase it in my lab. I'm not saying it's going to happen. I'm just telling you guys, I am looking at different cables. That does not mean I have any cables yet. I don't have any idea yet of what that will be if it ever comes to fruition. Maybe I give up and I realize that I have to continue with the transparency of the world and the Nordas of the world. I don't know. Guys, hit that like button for me. Hit that like button, like the video so that we can call on more people to join this conversation, this beautiful conversation on a Sunday. Just hit that like button, please, guys. Matthew, Cardus cables. Cardus cables are great cables. They got great construction. I like the way they feel. They feel very heavy and thick, heavy gauge cables. I like their connectors. Like I said, it's a good brand, but do I really? Am I blown away by it? I think there are better brands out there, in my opinion. But that's my opinion. I'm not saying I'm right. I'm just giving you my opinion. Thank you, ML. I much appreciate that comment. Thank you, man. I appreciate the love and all those beautiful comments there, guys. I appreciate all your comments there. It really means the world to me. I've been working around the clock, creating content, traveling right, to factories and doing all this legwork and video editing, creating the website. About to launch the website hopefully soon. So there is so much that I have to do, guys, and so I want to make sure that you guys understand that. I'm just trying to up my game and release a better quality of content. Like I want to be doing better quality of video cameras that are better. I want to use better audio components, microphones. I want to give you a level of content that no other YouTuber has. One of the reasons why I embarked on doing such a great job at the Magical Factory, one reason, guys, is because I want to make sure that nobody can top my work at the Magical Factory. I want to make sure that when I do this type of content, I go through every aspect, every angle, good video, good microphones, and that nothing is left unturned. So that basically there's no opportunity for anyone else to top my work. And I think I've done that with the Magical Factory. I don't think there's going to be any other YouTube channel, in my opinion, that will top what I have done, unless they are a video production company with like a staff and whole new level, then that's different. But I don't think there's going to be any other YouTuber that will top what I have done. I think if you want to see the Magical Factory, you should just watch my channel, because there is no other YouTube channel that has gone to the lengths that I have gone. And I plan to do the same thing for the next time. Whenever there is another opportunity to do another factory tour, I will do the same thing. It'll be very thorough. It'll be top to bottom. You'll get everything that you need to see from any future brands that want to sign up with me and get a factory tour done. I am planning to go to Greg Weaver's, but Greg is super busy right now. He's reviewing a couple of components that I can't speak about. Let's just say he's reviewing some components that I really think will be a great thing for his channel. But he's a busy man. Greg is absolutely busy all the time. So we connect here and there. But the plan is to have Greg Weaver, yes, come in here too, help me with the turntable too at some point, listen to my rig, give his opinion. So yeah. I don't have any opinions on Kubala Sosna cables. I have heard of it, but I don't really have an opinion. No, the M9 needs a massive room, guys. The Magical M9 is a huge loudspeaker, guys. That speaker needs a huge room. The Magical M9 is just a beast. It's 1,000 pounds, really tall, really deep. That needs a room that I unfortunately don't have. Cables to start out with, I would say if you're going to start with cables that are, and I don't want to call them affordable, because I think the definition of affordable is different for each and every one of us. But in the audio world, affordable in the thousands, unfortunately, when you're talking about cables. I mean, if you can get good deals on like used old generations of like Shunyata cables, I think that's a great brand to start out with. If you start with Shunyata, great deal to that, or maybe the older Valhalla one from Nordost. It's a great cable you can have, heavily discounted by now because it's out of production. So I would say if you're going to start this hobby and you're looking for your entry cables, I would say look at the brands that you know are the big players, but buy their older generation, buy their version ones, things that have been already used and that you can find good deals on. Yeah, the Magical 85 and the Magical S7 are two speakers that, to me, like any other speaker from Magical, you got to work hard, at making them sound good, and that's no fault of the speaker. Like I said, I just think that the speaker is so revealing that whatever shortcuts you take, it's just going to call you out. Like I said, but I think the S7 in particular is to me the best price performance speaker from Magical, in my opinion. Now, that does not mean it's better than any other Magical speaker. I think if you're looking to get the most out of a Magical speaker for the money, I do believe the S7 is it. I think the S7 can work in a large room, in a moderate size room like mine. You have all the bass you need. You're never going to be out of bass with the S7. You have, transparency, like an electrostatic kind of transparency, and it's just a very revealing speaker. But you do need amplification for the speaker. It needs quality watts. Okay, so hit that like button, folks. 78 of us are here. Hit that like button, that thumbs up to help us continue to make this video expand there and call on other people to join this conversation. Magical works really well with Griffin. The only thing I will say is, and I'm not saying it because I'm a dealer for it, I would say this to you. The best sound I got out of a Magical speaker in here was once I got the Strom Tank. The Strom Tank has absolutely transformed the high frequencies into something a lot more smooth, but not smooth over. It's very smooth, organic. You still got the leading edges of the instrumentation, the air, the spaciousness, the density, the imaging is all there. But what it feels like is that it's almost getting rid of all the sharp edges and anything that's not really pleasant. I feel like the Strom Tank just helps with that. So the speaker becomes a lot friendlier. And I wish you guys could hear it in my room. I mean, I wish you guys could hear what I'm saying in here. But yeah, I think Magical works well with Griffin. You just gotta work on your power. Power is key. Got to work on the power. Power is one of the most important things I've learned. What are we gonna do? Look, do you think, in your opinion, I recommend a Strom Tank for any system. Now, it doesn't make sense for a Strom Tank to be purchased if your system is $10,000. Probably not. You probably should work on your sources or better speakers or something like that, right? But I do agree. I do believe the Strom Tank, in my opinion, can do absolutely incredible things in any system, regardless of price. It's just that I know it's pricey. I get it, guys, but I've tried all kinds of power conditioners, every kind of power conditioner, and none of them did what the Strom Tank has done. And I don't know if it's due to the battery. The battery maybe taking me off the grid is doing insane things. And by the way, I am going to be showcasing the S2500 Quantum right there with those $30,000 amplifiers. So we're going to hear for the first time a power amp. The entire system will be connected on the Strom Tank S2500. For the first time, you're going to get to hear off grid the entire system, because I'm going to use one of those baby amps behind me that can easily be connected into the Strom Tank, and it would have absolutely no problem, working for a few hours off of the battery. So do not Do not miss that. Okay, that's going to be quite interesting. I am curious to hear it myself. I have never heard the entire system off the grid completely because the Boulder 3060 is connected on the wall, so I can't, I can't connect that on that 2500 Quantum. I have never heard anti-cables. I just haven't heard great things about anti-cables or anti-cables. Haven't heard any great things about it. I keep saying it, guys. If you can stay, if you're looking for entry level cables, I would say stick to the brands that you know make quality cables. The Shunyadas of the world, the AudioQuest brands, the Nordas brands. Just buy their older cables that everybody's dumping, that everybody's getting rid of. Just buy those cables heavily discounted, and I think you have an amazing starting point. Don't get caught up in the whole well, it's an older design. And listen, a cable is good today, tomorrow, and 5 years. Okay, it's still going to be a good cable. So if I am you and I'm looking for quality deals, I'm looking again at those Stronyata power cords like version 1, alpha version 1, or maybe they're the model below it. I can't remember off the top of my head the model below the alpha version. I would say buy those cables. I would say invest in the older Valhalla One from Noda store or the line right under it. So I that to me that just makes more sense than buying some no name brands that are not gonna take you anywhere. Um, that will impress you. No, the Boulder cannot be. The Boulder could be connected to a 5,000 HP. Yes. However, the Boulder is a 220 volt unit. So the problem is that if I plug it into a Strom tank, that Strom tank needs to be set up for 220. So I will never be able to plug anything else into that Strom tank but the Boulder 3060. But yes, you can connect the 3060 into a 5,000 HP, but nothing else connected into that 5,000 HP. Yeah, some people have been asking me about perhaps displaying my system at the Florida Audio Show. It's an interesting thing. I've been thinking about it. I don't know. I think it would be great. It would be a great test for me and my skills. It's expensive, to be honest with you, to think about that proposition, and I really need to figure out what's in it for me, right? Because if I have to spend the logistics, the money and the logistics, the treatments of that room, right, and everything that it entails, I need to figure out what is the return on that investment, and I don't know if there's any return on that investment. I have heard of Kondo Audio Note from Japan. Never really been in front of it. I've heard of it, and I've heard great things about that Kondo Audio Note from Japan. I have heard great positive things. It's very nice. That's a very nice thing that you have your entire system off the grid. The other thing I wanted to mention is, let me see. I'm looking. Am I still? I'm looking for. Let me see. How many of you guys? I want you guys to tell me this. What is your total system value right now? I want you guys to give me your write that right now on the screen. Tell me what more or less your system is worth right now, so that I have an understanding of the different tier groups here. Okay. Do the retail price, or yeah, retail. Retail is fine. Do your retail. Do the math. Retail prices right now of all your systems. Go ahead. Let me look at this. I'm looking at the screen right now. 70, 75. Let me see. I want to see the demographic. I'm trying to get at who's watching me, and where are we at. Okay. 15K, 9K, 204. Nice. Very good systems. Okay. See, I like that. We have all kinds of budgets. 38, 44, 55, 40 to 50. Okay, good. Okay, great. So you guys have serious systems, man. Damn, 90. Okay. You guys have awesome systems. I thought I was look at this. That's great. Wow. Look at that. Damn, some systems are more than mine. That's great. That's good. That's awesome. Damn, boys, you guys have great system. It's a great thing to see you guys. 10,000. Okay, great. 200K. You guys are having. Wow, love it. No, that's fine, Todd. That's fine, Todd. That's a great starting point, Todd. That's a great. Just don't watch me anymore, Todd, because I'm gonna empty your bank account. Do not watch me anymore. Okay. 50K, 80,000. Man, you guys are killers. You guys are killers. Great, 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 great. Amazing. I'm glad to see this. I'm glad to see this. Can you give me how long you've been in the hobby? You guys, can you give me an idea, an approximation? Don't lie either, okay? Just type in there. I want to see what you guys, um, how long you've been in the hobby, in this hobby. Okay, 2 years, 34. Wow. 7. Great. 15. Okay. So a lot of 34 years, 7 years, 15 years, 20 years, 35 years, 7 years, 30 years, 20 years, 1 year. Okay, we have some newbies. That's good. 2 years, 15 years, 50 years. Wow, 50 years. Wow, that's older. That's longer than I've been alive. Awesome. Awesome. Man, we got a lot of experienced people here. That's great, man. That's so beautiful to see this. I love this. I love to be able to interact with you guys. So it looks like many of you guys have been doing this for quite some time. The majority of you guys have been doing it for over a decade. And that's incredible, guys. So I cannot thank you enough for being here with me and sharing this Sunday afternoon or evening, or maybe even a Monday morning for some of you guys. Thank you for giving me the time of the day and the opportunity to enter your homes through YouTube, through your televisions, through your systems. It means a lot to me. So I hope that you guys enjoy the new website when it goes live, when it launches, hopefully in the next week or so. We're getting close to the final details, and then it will go live. That's beautiful, man. That's great. Sim audio is great. Yeah, sim audio is great stuff. There's actually a opportunity for me to go see sim audio, by the way. Just so you guys know, you're getting it from me right now. I may end up going to the sim audio factory soon, so there is that opportunity. That offer is on the table, and I think I'm going to go. I want to see what sim audio is doing. Great time. I love it. You guys are awesome. Many of you guys have been doing this for a long time. A long time. You guys have been doing this for a long time. I love this. I got to hear the Magical A5s in my room. I've had them in my room. I just never talked about them. It's a great speaker, man. You just got to remember, with the Magical brand, you have to work. You got to be strict, and you got to be very, very. Um, you know, you have to have a plan. Okay, you can't take shortcuts. You can't show up with garbage cables. You can't. You got to just make sure that if you get a Magical, it's kind of like magical, device or a tool, right? And you got to have the be on point. Once you do, it's very hard to beat the speaker. It's very hard to replace. Let me see. So it looks like many of you guys have been doing this for over a decade. Some of you guys have been doing it for 2 years, 3 years, which is great. And I'm glad to be able to have conversations with you all and guide you along the way. I know that YouTube is more of my broad content, so I can't really get too specific with each and every one of your questions. This is why I created the website, so that I can be a little more specific, a lot more vocal, a lot more blunt, raw. There's not going to be any video editing, by the way, on the website. It is me with my GoPro and just talking. And then if I make a mistake saying something, I correct myself on the spot. I am not editing any video. You guys are going to get the rawness of me in front of a camera, which is why I think you guys are going to enjoy it more, because it's going to be a lot more like not politically correct. Okay, I'm going to just speak my mind. I'm going to give you what you guys want on YouTube that I unfortunately cannot do on YouTube. I have never changed my opinion on subwoofers. I think subwoofers are absolutely a good thing to own in a two-channel rig. I think they add more body to the presentation. I think they do things that a speaker by itself simply cannot do because of the limitations of the cabinet, because of the physical, it's physics. Cabinets can't do every single thing that a dedicated subwoofer can do. So I do think there is tremendous value in adding subwoofers to a two-channel rig, especially when your room has, room cancellations, and there is certain frequencies that it doesn't do well, which every room has those issues. I think that's when adding subs in each corner can basically negate those problem areas. Okay, now for me the problem is I review amps, so if I have subs, it's hard for me to tell you whether the amp has great bass control or sounding in the low registers, right? Because that's why I would have the subs. For the subs will help me with that, so that's why I don't use subs. But I that does not mean that those of you who use subs should not be using it. I commend you if you're using it. If you're using subs and you have the space, commend you to use subwoofers. I would love to do the same, but my amplifiers need to be tested basically full range without the help of a subwoofer. As I said to you, I am open to trying different speaker brands, guys, but I can't embark on buying every single speaker brand. Speakers are one of the most difficult components to sell, okay? Because it's also a personal opinion, meaning aesthetically speaking, do you like the way they look? Maybe you do, maybe you do not, you don't. I bought these orange, right, speakers right next to me, right, and they're orange, and I knew that coming in. So it might be hard or it might be easy depending on who's buying the speaker. Speakers are a much more difficult thing to sell, guys. It's not easy. This is why I cannot embark on buying brands that are not as highly recognized as the typical speakers that you see here in the United States. If I embark on buying European brands, when it's my time to get rid of it, I'm going to have a hard time selling it. This is why I don't buy brands that don't have a big following, at least in the United States. Title speakers, as I mentioned to you, I almost bought a pair of Title speakers like a year and a half ago. I don't know what happened, can't remember, but it never came to fruition. So, but I want you to know that there it was on my radar at some point. Then, as I mentioned last week, I almost bought a pair of Magical Q7s, and we couldn't align, the seller and I. Doesn't matter. It is what it is, right? But I did almost buy, and then when I started thinking about it more and more, I didn't want to embark on, bringing 750-pound speakers into the room and the logistics, and then what do I do with these things behind me? Where do I hide them? I don't have any space, so that's what happened. So I just decided, you know what? Let me just keep mastering the S7s and continue to do my thing with them. I wish I owned a car. I am a normal peasant, man. I'm a normal guy, man. I'm the guy with an axe over my shoulder chopping up trees, man. I'm I wish I owned car dealerships. I wish I owned 13 hotels and 13 restaurants here in the South Florida area, man. I wouldn't, I wish, but no, that's far from the truth, man. I'm a normal guy, man, just working a 9 to 5, a normal job. It's just that, I have a gift, you can say, in terms of audio components, and capitalizing on what I know, and obviously making, good financial decisions. But no, I drive a regular F-350, Ford F-350 truck, man. I don't drive an expensive European or a Porsche, or I don't drive anything like that. I drive a normal Ford F-350. That's it. So I'm a normal guy. It's just, I have certain gifts, you can say, that allow me to do, what I do. But no, I wish, man, that I owned all kinds of businesses. Okay, Karma, I don't have any plans to bring Karma. I know Suncoast Audio is a dealer for the brand. He speaks highly of Karma. He loves the construction. He is. I heard it a few times, but I haven't heard the models that I would normally go for. I haven't heard the bigger models. I've only heard the smaller ones. So, I small models. The small models were great. They're beautiful looking speakers, Karma speakers. But I would love to hear their S7 version of theirs. I would love to hear what that sounds like. I just haven't had the chance. Hey, I'm trying to keep it real with you guys. I am not trying to BS any of you. I'm just here, telling it like it is on a beautiful Sunday. So, I don't have any reason to lie about anything. You guys, I think real men and women like you guys get where I'm coming from. You understand that it all started with a passion, and now I branched out into what is Jay's Audio LLC, which will have my website soon. And then obviously on that website, you have memberships. So it's just the natural course of my passion, right? I can't stay doing the same thing for a long time. It's kind of like you having a regular job and having no aspirations to get promoted to become a manager or a lead or a VP within the company. You should strive for more if you want to do better things. So natural progression for me was to start as a regular average person, going out there, buying stuff on the used market, trying it, selling it, and buying something else, moving up the ladder to better electronics, and then eventually become, a business, and offer services and help and membership content. All of this, it's just evolution, guys. That's what happens with an idea, right? You're supposed to expand on it. So that's all I'm doing, right? And I'm sharing it with you guys along the way. MIT versus transparent, guys. I haven't heard MIT, but I heard great things about MIT. I know they're very similar to transparent. I've heard nothing but great things about MIT. These are all great cable brands. Thank you. I try to speak from the heart. I try to. I try not to sugarcoat things. And I know my deepest, my closest followers, all of you guys here, all 90 of you, are feeling me, and I hope you guys support my website. I hope you guys support the membership area. I hope you guys are there, engage with me. I plan to keep refreshing the members only content, hopefully weekly, hopefully, but I plan to keep making improvements on that and keeping things real and fresh. Okay. Thank you. I appreciate, James, your comments and your wishes. Can you hear a difference between Title and Cobos? Yes, you can hear a difference, but it depends on the album, guys. Okay, this whole thing of Title being always or Cobos being 1,000% of the time better than Title, guys, I'm sorry, that's a lie. Okay, no, it's not all the time. Okay, it depends on the song, it depends on the version of the album you're listening to. I have played records or stream records that are albums that are the same on both platforms, that there is absolutely no difference. And I think my system is very revealing, actually. It would tell me the differences. So I have Cobos because it's pitched at the greatest, most prestigious streaming service, and it has some cool albums in there that are not available on Tidal. But to say that every single song is better, I think that's a lie. Okay, I think Tidal also sounds pretty good, and it depends on what you're looking for. It always, of course, DSD files inside a local network drive is the way to go. But sometimes the streaming version actually may sound better than the local files. I've seen that. I've heard it here with my own ears. Thanks, Redneck, for joining us. I appreciate you being here. Thank you for finding me. Subscribe, hit that like button, guys. Let's get more people in here. Hit that like button. And I got another 14 minutes to go. So ask away, ask your questions. Let me know what you want to know. I'm here. I got about 14 minutes to go, and I want to continue to just give you guys any information that you may be requesting. Hi, Jennifer. Thank you for being part of the channel, Jennifer. We don't have many females, but I appreciate you being with us on this beautiful Sunday afternoon in whichever part of the world you're in. Yeah, Gilbert, I'm planning to come to Germany, okay? I have to go to the Munich show. I plan to meet my European fan base in Germany. So I hope to be there next year. It's going to be a long trip. It's like 10 days. So it's going to be ridiculous for me as far as the amount of work that I'm going to be having to do to cover that Munich show. But I plan to be at that Munich show next May. So I hope to meet a lot of you guys, my German fan base. And of course, all the European fan base that attends the show. I have tested the Dan Agostino Momentum Integrated. It's a beautiful sounding integrated. Very beautiful. It just doesn't have a lot of power, but it's beautiful sounding. Perfect. I hope to see you in Germany next year. Absolutely. By then, I hope to have 20,000 subscribers. I have a CD player. I have a transport, a Sim Audio 650D transport that I have not used in quite some time. I do spin CDs occasionally, although not as much as I'd like to. Jennifer, I plan to post that on Tuesday. My delays are due to the editing process at this point. The video I thought was ready to go. Then we got some feedback about certain camera shots that should have never been there that we need to edit out. And so it's being worked on by the video editor right now, unfortunately. And he is in Hawaii, so he is 6 hours behind. So he's working on it, and we're going to have a meeting again tonight to go over the final changes, get one final review, and then approvals, and then release it on Tuesday. That's my plan, Tuesday afternoon. I have not heard the Griffin Commander, unfortunately, so I can't tell you if the Griffin Commander would be the better preamplifier between that or the JMF preamp. I have never tried the Apple Music HDMI, unfortunately. I haven't. Maybe I should try. I no longer have the Takeo Extreme. I sold my Takeo Extreme. That's already in a new home. I don't have any experience with a Denon integrated, unfortunately. I have owned Jeff Rowland amplifiers. I have had the Jeff Rowland Rowland 525 and also the Jeff Rowland 925. Hold on one second, guys. Okay, sorry. Great. You're gonna love Adrian. You're gonna love the Magical A5s. You're probably gonna have to get a hold of me though, because you got to know what to do with that speaker, Adrian. So, Mike, I have heard the same thing, that a transport will always beat the streaming version of a file of an album. I have to try that theory. I have to believe it's true based on the feedback I've gotten, but I can't really speak for myself yet. But I'm going to try that for sure. So Magico and Sonos Faber, guys, are so different. Tonally speaking, they're polar opposites. Okay, Magico is about precision, is about the facts. Magical is about telling you the real story behind what you have built in your room. It's telling you problem areas. It's telling you what's good about your system, what's not so good about your system. And so a lot of folks get very annoyed by that. Okay. So that's really one thing about Magical. Sonos Fiber, on the other hand, is, paper drivers. It's about musicality. It's about engaging you. It's about sounding softer. It may not have the leading edges of a magical speaker. It may not necessarily be as truthful as a magical, but it can definitely seduce you and make you basically get in bed with it. That's what really the Sonos Fiber is about, right? But it depends on the type of person that you are. If you like those cute Netflix documentaries, you probably are better off with a Sonos Fiber. If you like those raw HBO documentaries where they show you everything, you're probably better off with a magical speaker. I have never heard the Horizon. I heard great things about that DAC. I have not heard it. I can't comment on the Horizon just yet. Jennifer, I have had a chance. No, I have not had a chance to listen to the BHK 600s. My only concern with the BHK 600s is they're relatively new. And if I know something about PS Audio, when I first bought the BHK 300 monos, they had issues. Okay, so I would say pump the brakes right now. Let them work the kinks out of those amps. I'm not saying they have kinks, but if I go by my own experience, you have to be mindful that this is a new amp, and Sim Audio is known to make adjustments along the way, repairs, replace certain things. So I would say be careful with that. Wait until they have been out. They have revised them a few times. If they need to revise them, at least wait a year after the release date to see if there's any issues with them. Nicholas, a streamer under $2,000 is hard. I would say if you can find $3,000, I would go with an Arrender. I would go with streamer. Probably you could probably have to go with a Lumen if it's a streamer. I thought you were asking about a music server, but if it's a streamer, probably a Lumen is really. I heard this other Rose. What's it called? Rose Audio, I think it is the name of this new DAC. I heard great things about this new streamer. Hi-Fi Rose or something like that. Can't remember the name. I've heard great things about it. I haven't heard it. Maybe I should. Render N20. I heard great things about the Render N20. Great things about that music server. So yeah, the Hi-Fi Rose. That's right. That's what I heard great things about. I have never heard it. I couldn't comment, but that should be a pretty good streamer. Spectral amplifiers could be in the future. They can happen. I think that's a possibility, guys. I just haven't really steer my show in that direction, if I'm being honest. But I have thought about those amps from time to time. Yeah, so the CD is theoretically a CD should always sound better than the streaming version of any album. It should. Okay, is that really is that the reality? I don't know, but it should sound better than the streaming version. A CD should always trump the streaming album. Yeah, Spectral, I've heard about the cables, that you have to use certain cables, just like Name. Name does the same thing. Name wants you to use their cables, guys. So keep that in mind. Okay, what else do we got? Any other questions here? Thank you, Nicholas. Appreciate the comment. I love that Nordos QRT system. I mean, I love it. I thought it did exceptional things. I have heard recently, I have heard that Shanyata is releasing a new grounding system, and apparently dealers need to travel to their headquarters to be trained on how to connect this new grounding system. Okay, Shanyata is set to release a new grounding system. If it's not released by now, I don't know, but it's supposed to be phenomenal. The only downside of this grounding system is it requires a lot of cables, a lot of cables. I don't have any experience with it, but it's supposed to be the next greatest grounding system available to us. Don't have any thoughts on the BMW 802 D4s yet. I want to try a pair of D4s. I just haven't gotten around to it. Yes, my Boulder 3010 3060 is my absolute reference system. 3010 3060 to me are the top of the mountain. The only thing that can top that could be probably the 3050 monos instead of the 3060. Name reference amplifier is too much money, man. The name reference amplifier will probably never happen. It's way too much money. I've heard great things about AudioNet. Greg Weaver has given me great feedback about AudioNet. Never heard it though. I actually leave my system on. My DAC is on 24/7 because it doesn't draw a lot of power. My preamp is on 24/7 because it doesn't draw a lot of power of my solid state preamp, not my tube preamplifier. My amps are off because they draw a lot of juice. So I started to turn off the amplifiers overnight as of like 2 months ago. I heard from a friend of mine yesterday that the Apex upgrade on the DCS Rossini was transformational. Was absolutely mind-boggling. He literally texted me yesterday to say that he couldn't believe the difference that this new Apex upgrade made in his system. Thank you, Alain Thomas. I appreciate it, man. Thank you. I hope to meet you in Munich. Don't have any experience with the Nordos QRT QV2 AC line harmonizer, unfortunately. I did buy my phono cartridge. It is en route from Japan, but they're telling me by the end of the month. So hopefully you guys can see this cartridge and my turntable system, my turntable setup in the near future. I have never tried any YG acoustic speakers. Let me see what else. I want to. I want to try YG acoustic speakers. If they want to let me try them, I would be more than happy. Okay, to try the YG acoustic speakers. Absolutely. Right now, Griffin committed themselves to sending me the Apex in Commander, and there is a local dealer facilitating this. So I want to thank that dealer, John, at the Audio Salon and at the Biltmore Hotel. And so Griffin committed because they've seen my work, my effort with the Griffin brand, which I am not a dealer for. Okay, I am not a dealer. I don't get compensation from Griffin by showcasing their products. I want to make sure I say that. Griffin does not send me a check for the work that I do with Griffin. This is the passionate side of me talking to you guys. This is me falling in love for a component, and just I'm like a little kid. I can't wait to share that information with you guys. Okay, but Griffin does not send me a paycheck for talking about their products. I want to make sure you guys know this. I plan to be Nicholas at Capital Audio Fest. Plan to. It's not 100% sure, and I'm not 100% sure yet though. Michael Fremer, is there a chance to interview him? Maybe. I mean, I think it could be a possibility if I run into him somewhere at a show and I want to have a decent chat with him and talk to him and do my research on him. I think that could be cool. I have had COVID. Yes. Did it affect my hearing when I was sick? I did. I did feel like I couldn't hear really well. My hearing was pretty bad when I had COVID. Speaker brands that sound best with Boulder and Griffin, I would say I like Magical. I like Focal, both of them. I have never heard about PSI audio active bass straps. Never. Maybe I should look into those. Never heard of them though. No. Cost no object rooms. That's a tough one, Richard. For a small room, that would have to be a consultation, Richard. Consider my consultation, Richard. If you are looking for that system to really satisfy your needs in a small room, I think we can talk about that for hours. Biggest transformation was number one, the Select 2 DAC, and then number two, Boulder 3060. Those are the two biggest showstoppers. Anyways, guys, I got to get ready for a consultation. I thank you for your time. Thank you for your love, your support. Please be on the lookout for that part 3 of my video with a lone wolf, which should be dropping this Tuesday. A lot of interesting questions will be answered by him. In addition to that, guys, be on the lookout for my next website. Okay, my website will be jaysaudiolab.com. You guys will be very surprised with the level of content that will be there. Members only section. You guys are going to get a lot of great videos there. Please subscribe and continue to support me. I could not do any of this without you guys right here. None of this would matter to me. If you guys are not there, I have no reason to continue on this path. Okay? Thank you all. I'll speak to you soon. Bye.